Hey, welcome to an episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Hey, look, we hit 3,000 on Instagram, 1,000 on TikTok, only 12 away from 4,000 here on YouTube. So everybody watching this, share this show with your friends. Everybody who was watching this right now shared it and got one person to subscribe, I would be bigger than Real Ale Guide overnight. Well, probably not, but anyway, tonight's beer is an old school beer. This used to be one of my all-time favorite beers. I haven't had it in like 6 years. From good old Dogfishhead, 60-minute IPA, India Pale Ale, 6% ABV, continually hopped for 60 minutes for an intense yet enticing hop-centric experience. This is really fresh. It was canned in December, or it's 2 months old. I don't know. All right, so of course I poured it into the IPA glass. I think Sam Calagione invented this glass, and my can's pretty frothy there, but you know it's typical. Actually, kind of old school IPA where it's more gold than orange, and it's got a little bit of a haze to it, but otherwise it's mostly clear. Get a big white foamy froth on that. It's kind of the dish soap suds, but yeah, I mean it's mostly clear. I mean this is like brilliant. Actually, it kind of looks like honey in the glass there, doesn't it? This is like brilliant clarity compared to today's IPA. So let's give it a smell. Just lovely pine, floral kind of scent, a very clean smell. Yeah, I'd call it like pine, maybe a little green tea. It's probably Centennial hops in there. You know, I never bothered to look up what hops are in this beer. I would assume probably like Cascade, Centennial, you know, probably the C hops, the old school C hops. It does have a, you know, bit of a slightly toasty kind of malt base to it. Otherwise, just kind of straight two-row. I would not call it. It's not Pilsnery. Not a whole lot of distinct malt base in IPAs, really. But let's give it a try. See if it's as good as I remember. Cheers. Yeah. So what's interesting is that the malt base on here, like I said, on the aroma is like slightly toasty. I think I actually taste it a bit more I taste it more than I smell it. So it's like a slightly toasty kind of maltiness to it. Almost kind of reminds me of like some kind of like German lager kind of base almost. And also the hops. I never really realized this before, at least I don't remember, is they're very much the Centennial kind of green tea kind of flavor, but also piney, but like just the kind of like dry pine needles. This is not sticky, syrupy, resiny pine. And it's funny that, you know, this is 60 IBUs, which is, you know, fairly high compared to most hazies. If it's 6% hazy, would probably not be 60 IBUs. But this actually doesn't seem that bitter, at least not anymore. To me, it does seem kind of on the lower IBU range. I don't know, or maybe it's just me. Like I'm just so used to, you know, big, huge hoppy beers. Like 60 is like a walk in the park now. I think it has like a slight kind of mineral kind of character. I think it has like a little bit of fruity yeast ester character in there as well. Yeah, this is good. It just doesn't amaze me like the way it used to. I mean, I would suspect that they probably tweaked the recipe over the years, or maybe this is made at a different brewery. Actually, because I know brewed and canned by Dogfishhead, Milton, Delaware, in collaboration with the Boston Beer Company. Yeah, because I was going to say Sam Adams and Dogfishhead merged. Now they're one company, so they might brew each other's beers. But this says it was made in Delaware. That's the original Dogfishhead brewery. By the way, mouthfeel on this one is a little lighter than I remembered. I mean, like I said, it's been 6 years since the last time I had this, at least last time I checked into it on Untappd. I'd probably put like a medium light kind of body, maybe medium tops. Carbonation, about moderate. I would say it's very smooth. I might even go as far as say it's like crisp, like as far as like the actual texture. This is, I mean, the hazies are just like so smooth and creamy. This one is, it's definitely smooth, but it's light years from creamy. Yeah, I'd probably say like medium, maybe medium light body and kind of moderately low CO2. Yeah, Yeah, it's actually it's not crisp because like usually you want like usually high carbonation in a lighter body would be crisp. This is just kind of like a smooth, uh, relatively light in the mouth. I will say like the everything lingers here. It has like a malty and hoppy aftertaste. It's just not nearly as bitter as I remember. Yeah, so I don't know if this is the subject. The subject for the debate is like, have I changed or has this beer changed? Because this just does not blow me away like the way it did back in 2009 or whatever when I had this with my dad. I just remember loving it back then. This is like my frame of reference today after how many thousands of beers that I've had. This is like okay. The first time I had this was a solid 10 A+ beer. Right now this is, I mean, for the style, if we're going to go by style guidelines, it would score pretty high. I think it'd be about a 40 to 43, something like that. Personal preference, it's almost like a 6. Well, 6 is kind of harsh, but I would give a 7. 7 out of 10, kind of solid B range for Dogfishhead 60-minute IPA. If you never had an old school East Coast IPA that's relatively clear, this is a good one to pick up, and you can probably get it in your supermarket now. All right, so if you watched all the way in, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys for Tuesday Night Beer School, Chad's Beer Podcast, and others. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.